Hey everybody, Ron here. I wanted to record this video to talk about a couple of different things, one of which has to do with my campaign that I just recently ended, like this past Sunday. And the other thing is a little bit of speculation and maybe wishful thinking for 2020. So I recently ended my D&D game this past Sunday. It was fun. The players enjoyed it, and that's the main thing that matters. For the most part, if the players enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it. But one of the things that came out of it was that there were some things that were left on the table, some secrets that were left on the table. Some folks believe that if the secrets were left on the table, then they weren't very good secrets. And perhaps that's the case, but I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. The big secret in my campaign is that one of the NPCs that had a relationship with one of the players was secretly a dragon of the chamber. And the chamber, if you don't know, or you're not familiar with Eberron, is this group of dragons who study the prophecy. And unlike most of the dragons that just not casually observe, but observe the prophecy to see how it unfolds, they believe that they could influence it at least a little bit. This dragon took the form of a gnome named Drade, and that secret never came out. I meant for it to come out, and then I figured in the finale maybe I was just having him show up and do something pretty awesome, but I didn't even do that. So the secret never came out, and I was just wondering, like, what do you folks do? Like, do you care if there are secrets that are just left on the table and left unrevealed? I didn't think about it, and I haven't thought deeply about it. This is kind of some rambling thoughts. Ultimately, I don't think the secrets are that important, and I feel like if it was important enough that it would have come out, and who knows, maybe in a future campaign, I'm going to run another campaign in Eberron. Maybe the secret will come up again. Maybe the NPC will come up again. Players have their favorite NPCs, but players do like interacting with NPCs, even if it's the same NPCs over different campaigns that are playing with different characters. So I thought Drake was an interesting NPC. The player that I interacted with the most with that NPC, I think enjoyed him very much. So we'll see. So that's my question for discussion. How do you folks feel about secrets that never get revealed in your campaign? Do you hold on to them tightly? Do you hold on to them loosely? Does it depend on the situation? And if it does depend on the situation, under what circumstances would you carry a secret over into a future campaign? The other thing I wanted to talk about is 2020. I am a Marvel fan. I read Marvel Comics as a kid. I read a little bit as an adult. Of course, you cannot ignore the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm a big fan of the MCU. Big fan, huge fan. I was just thinking, man, it would really be nice to have a licensed Marvel RPG out there. There was one done by Market Weiss Productions, Marvel Heroic Role-Playing Game, done with the Cortex Plus system, and it's an excellent game. But that license expired, I think, around 2012, 2013, something like that. It's been a while. There's been a lot of silence for the past, I would say, 5 years or so on that front. And I can't help but think that someone has that license for the role-playing game. And so what makes me think that not only that someone has that license for the role-playing game, but that someone's going to reveal a game in 2020 is, well, aside from the fact that we just had Avengers Endgame, but next year, 2020, it's a nice round number. It's the beginning of Marvel Phase 4. I'm just talking and just having some fun with this. So don't take this too seriously. I just have a feeling that it's going to come. We just had the release of 2 Marvel tabletop board games this year, 2019. We have Marvel Crisis Protocol, which I forget what company it's by. It's a miniatures game. But more relevant to my interest is Marvel Champions, released November 1st. It's an LCG, living card game, done by Fantasy Flight. Fantasy Flight makes board games. They also make role-playing games. They're the ones that make Star Wars Destiny, the collectible dice game. They also have the Star Wars role-playing game license. I can't help but think that they have the Marvel role-playing license, and that next year we're going to see a Marvel role-playing game in the Genesis dice system that they have basically for Star Wars in their toolkit generic system. I think we're going to get a Marvel role-playing game in the Genesis system. Once again, basically speculation, but if there's any company out there that can afford the Marvel license, there aren't too many companies out there that could afford the Marvel role-playing game license. I mean, they afford the Star Wars role-playing game license, and they milk that puppy. And I have a hard time believing that they are not the ones that would have the Marvel role-playing license. But I have no inside knowledge. It's more wishful thinking. I just have a feeling. We'll see how 2020 comes out. If there is a Marvel role-playing game and Fantasy Flight is the one that's going to put it out in 2020, it'll probably be a Gen Con release. So we won't hear anything about it until the summer at the earliest. That's what I'm thinking. That's my video. Let me know what you folks think about either of the topics, and hope you folks have a Merry New Year. And until next time, see you later.